Tintoretto's production of paintings for the Scuola of San Rocco began in the year 1564 with the decoration of the albergo. Beginning with this massive Hollywood-style crucifixion, measuring 17 feet in height, 40 feet across, and containing many extras in the scene. In fact, it's hard to figure out where your eyes should actually rest. And if you turn around, you'll see three more paintings by Tintoretto in what was once the boardroom of the Scuola. That is the Ecce Homo, or Behold the Man, directly above the door, Pontius Pilate washing his hands on the right-hand side, and then the carrying of the cross on the left-hand side instead. 3 years dedicated to decorating the albergo. And then his production moved out into the chapter hall, which is the most spectacular of all the spaces inside of the Scuola. Every canvas in this room was painted by Tintoretto. Old Testament subject matter up on the ceiling, New Testament subject matter along the side walls. Scenes such as Moses drawing water from the rock, the brazen serpent, or Mannah falling miraculously from heaven, decorating the ceiling. And then other scenes such as the Adoration of the Shepherds, the Temptation of Christ, the Resurrection of Christ, and then finally the Last Supper, adorning essentially the space where the members of the Scuola were reminded of what their mission was, giving drink to the thirsty, healing the sick, and feeding the hungry. And then finally, Tintoretto's contribution extending all the way down to the Great Hall on the ground level, where the general public would mingle with members of the Scuola. We have a couple of interesting paintings, like his Annunciation, with this rather ambiguous interior domestic setting, and this young Saint Joseph in a very sloppy carpenter shop that you see on the left-hand side, or his rather unorthodox image of the Adoration of the Magi, where in fact the kings are displaced into the background of the scene, and then his rest on the flight into Egypt, which in fact for me looks very much like Giorgione's Tempest, which we discussed in the episode concerning the Accademia Gallery. 23 years of his life, a quarter of a century, Tintoretto dedicates to decorating this great building and celebrating, of course, its prestige in the city, transforming it into one of the greatest decorative complexes on planet Earth, and my favorite site in the entire city of Venice.